Thank you. Good to see you.
How are you guys?
Not too bad.
Jonathan, I wasn't expecting you on the call at all. I thought you were busy. And Stephen said, you know what, I'll fill in for him.
Yeah.
That was it. Then he just arrived, and I was like, "You're going to have to come in here, so you are."
I'm in the background here. I'm just going to sit here and drink this and say nothing.
Good.
Yeah, that's it.
Listen, I gave a short brief of it. I mean, I had to crack on. I had to move ahead, and I cracked it open. I explained it's a 12-year-old cask strength PX finish. First of all, it's Cooley liquid. Second of all, it was in bourbon cask and then finished off in the PX. And one of the questions then from Jay was, how long was it in the PX cask for?
Yeah, so it was initially, some of our casks, we put them into butts, and every single PX cask that we have released within the single cask series has all been in hogsheads. So we took some out of butts and put them into hogsheads. For us, as you know, Paul, everything in Acklandville is done with long maturation, best cask that we can possibly buy. And for us, we're a firm believer in great barrels equal great whiskey. So for us, we wanted a kind of more intense flavour within our single cask program. So yeah, it was 2 years in butts. Then it was taken out of butts and transferred into 250 litre hogsheads for just over 2 years. So a total 8 years in bourbon, then just over 4 years in PX.
Wow, 4 years. I would have never picked that. But again, when I do stuff with PX, I tend to do it in smaller 40 and 68 and 128s. And you have to watch it quite closely because it can over influence and over colour. And the colour wasn't as dark as I would have expected. The flavour's amazing. Like it's not overpowering with the PX. It's the right type of balance for this whiskey. I think he's done a phenomenal job with it.
I'm going to say something, Jonathan and Stephen. You're going to hate me again because look, we had this conversation recently. You guys are releasing single casks all over the place. You've done 2 recently. This is the best PX 12-year-old cask strength you've produced. So I'm sorry.
Are you being biased? Yeah.
Because it's the last one you're going to do. So, but it is the best, and you've managed to like. Yeah. I'm really blown away by that.
I think that's fair because everything that from I joined the team, it was a bit, when I came in, it was a bit like, well, is it better than the last one that we've done? And it was all, does it have to be better than the last one that we've done? Yeah, it has to be better than the last one we've done. So every single release that goes out has to be better than the one before. And it gets quite tough when you release whiskies of this quality. But yeah, so it's probably a good job by the whole team in a way that if you think this is the best, then yeah, that's the job done.
I'm a critic of Acklandville, and I like to give my peace of mind when you guys are like sampling stuff and you're putting stuff out there. I am genuinely not even going to lie. That's the best PX 12-year-old that you've released.
It's the best finish I've ever had on a 12-year-old. I think it's phenomenal.
The
finish is lovely.
Is it the longest one that you've kept in a PX barrel?
Yeah.
On the 12-year-olds, yeah, it is.
It is phenomenal. Like,
and I think we talked briefly before, Paul, about the difference between the batches that were in the hogsheads, the butts first and hogsheads compared to the ones that were just in the hogsheads for 4 years. And I think it's probably about, in fairness too, I think in the 5, this is the 5th release, yeah? So in the 5 releases of the PX12 cask strength, you can sort of see a progression, but most that one there is probably. They got to 13 now anyway, and it's been in PX a whole year longer than the first PX 12 release. And you can probably see that progression, where those lighter fruits are dying down and those spicier and woodier notes are coming to the fore a bit more, and there is I think if you sat down with 1327 and 1326, the first 2, and then compared to this one, you would see quite a progression in them, they're all the same flavour profile, but within that, there's a progression in that flavour profile. It's been very interesting to see.
Yeah,
it is quite interesting because you can spot a Dunvilles whiskey a mile away. I feel with all of our, especially the PX. Like PX is what we're famous for, and later in the week we're in our warehouse station. You're going to see that it's just not the PX what we focus on up here, but for us, it's PX is without a doubt since the 10-year-old was launched in 2012. then onto the 12-year-old, then these single casks over the last kind of 18 months. They've definitely been what's really kind of zoned in on what the great things about Dunvilles as a brand, and it is the focus on those casks. So as Jareth was saying, there's different types of whiskey between all of the 5 that we've released, and they're all at similar age. So like it's amazing what these casks give, but the different flavors as well. But they still have that core DNA of what Dunvilles is, that kind of rich, spicy fruitiness, and they all have that lovely kind of candy orange peel thing going on, which I love. I love kind of those lighter styles as well.
Yeah, it's that candied orange, and it's just a mouthfeel. It's just how it feels, it's just the voluptuousness of it. It's juicy, it's spicy, it's voluptuous. The finish is phenomenal.
It's a big one, isn't it?
Jesus Christ,
voluptuous.
you okay, son? that was a big word for you.
Put that word properly.
He's going to be using voluptuous soon as well.
Yeah,
Fair play.
it's a furnish, and it's just how it feels, Yeah, and that's what we always try and find in those single crafts.
Okay, listen, super. Jareth, this goes on sale today, yes?
Goes on sale today, 4 o'clock, Stephen, is it?
4 o'clock, yeah. So it's on sale at 4 o'clock.
And for anybody that's watching, anybody that has subscribed to the Whiskey Week should have now received their purchase code. You can't purchase it on our website without that purchase code that you get from Belfast Whiskey Week. I know that I received my email about 11 o'clock, half 11, certainly before 12. So hopefully that anybody that's interested in buying it should have the subscription to Belfast Whiskey Week and should have received their email with that purchase code. If they haven't, check their spam box, check their whatever, it should be there.
Yeah.
Okay, super. Listen, I know that was a big, it was rushed in, and and fair play. But I want to also but just big up Ecklandville again. Look, the festival. To be frank, everyone knows this. The festival would not happen if it wasn't for the involvement in Ecklandville. That is 100% clear. I hope the Irish whiskey industry understands